to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hello and welcome to episode 70. I am MOSH, and a quick shout out to ESPN for running the Ocho again this weekend. Were the competitions pretty much the exact same reruns of the last time they did the Ocho? Yes, they were. Did that stop me from tuning in? No, it didn't. Did I watch Greg Newport absolutely destroy the putt-putt competition again? You better believe I did. Was I on the edge of my seat the whole time? Yeah. And can we give it up for the sign spinners? Wow. The grace and elegance of these athletes is unreal. And then you had the one chunky dude that did a handstand and caught the sign between his legs. It's just bonkers. I think some of these people are juicing though. I think steroids run rampant in the sign spinning community. And I'm still a firm believer that the Ocho should be a permanent thing on ESPN. It's just too good. So with that out of the way, let's get into gaming. There's going to be a lot of reading this week. So first up is The Last of Us Part 2 leak that happened last week. We now know what truly happened. Last weekend's shocking leak of footage from The Last of Us Part 2 was likely committed by hackers who exploited a security vulnerability in prior Naughty Dog games, according to a person who said they were familiar with the hack. Kotaku has confirmed some of the details with a second source who is familiar with how development studio Naughty Dog's games are structured. The details of the apparent hack were first shared on Twitter late Saturday night by a person going by the name PixelButts, who later elaborated over direct message about how the exploit was discovered. He declined to share his real name. He described a sequence of events that started in January. That's when he says a hacker group discovered a method for accessing the Amazon servers for Naughty Dog games using what was essentially password information included in the code for the studio's games Uncharted 3 and The Last of Us. Those games access the servers for multiplayer functionality, but apparently could also be used to fetch files stored there. The Uncharted 3 key got them Uncharted 3 development material, and Uncharted 2's key did the same. But there were some The Last of Us content mixed into Uncharted 3's server. It wasn't too much of a stretch to think The Last of Us's server could also have The Last of Us 2 material. By March, the group grabbed at least 1 terabyte of data from the part of the server associated with The Last of Us. That timeline tracks with what leaked of the highly anticipated upcoming PS4 exclusive. At least one of the pivotal plot-spoiling cutscenes that was posted online by the leaker included developer code that identified the footage as being from an April 1 build of the game. While the leak also included gameplay footage, it's unclear if the hackers would have been able to obtain a playable build of the game as opposed to gameplay footage recorded by Naughty Dog and saved on the studio's servers. PixelButts claims to have notified Naughty Dog of the security flaw in February and also says that he neither participated in the hack nor has obtained any of the materials that leaked. He told Kotaku today that the key to access the Amazon servers was changed on or before April 30th, closing off the apparent hole that was allowed for the leak. Former Kotaku news editor Jason Schreier, he left Kotaku by the way, reported that the leak was indeed a hack, citing 2 people with direct knowledge of it as well as conversations with Naughty Dog employees. What remains less clear is who carried out the leak and why. PixelButts said he doesn't believe that the group of hackers who discovered the exploit in January perpetuated the leak of The Last of Us 2 material. Their circle is more just Naughty Dog enthusiasts that like development content from their games rather than malicious actors. Nevertheless, he believes that someone who became aware of the exploit, possibly through that group, put the material out there. The big leak occurred a week ago and quickly led to rumors that it was the action of a disgruntled employee, perhaps one angered by the studio's controversial crunch culture. Those rumors were soon reported as fact by some gaming news outlets and across forums and social media, but it doesn't seem that the leak ever included that claim. The leak managed to ruin a lot of plot points that were intended to be kept secret, and the release of footage showing what was next for the series' characters angered many players who wanted to start the game unspoiled. It also clearly infuriated developers at Naughty Dog who had managed for years to keep the details secret. On Friday, a representative from Sony says that they had identified the primary individuals responsible for the leak and noted that they were not current or former employees or contractors. The Last of Us Part 2 will finally be released next month on June 19th, so it did get a new release date. So there you have it. It was not a disgruntled employee. It was a person or people with bad intentions. Next up, we have the free PlayStation Plus games for May 2020. Do you have what it takes to develop a small, bustling community into a sprawling mega city? In Cities Skylines, the acclaimed city builder sim by Paradox Interactive, you make the decisions that will see your city flourish or fail. You'll need strategic smarts to keep your burgeoning ecosystem from collapse, ensuring your ever-growing populace stay happy and the industries that are the lifeblood of your expanding metropolis continue to thrive. Stressed by the bustling city life and eager to tackle a more sedate livelihood, rural escapism awaits with Farming Simulator 19. Developer Giants Software has packed in a wealth of agricultural pastimes to lose yourself in as you set out to maintain a homestead. Harvest crops, raise livestock, tackle forest, ride your own horses, or just jump behind the wheel of your John Deere tractor or one of over 300 authentic farming vehicles and go for a drive. Both titles will be available to download starting Tuesday, May 5th until Monday, June 1st. So, since E3 was cancelled, Jeff Keighley has decided to put on his own event. It's called Summer Game Fest. Since I was a kid, one of my favorite parts of the summer has been seeing all the video game companies band together to hype us up about the future of this incredible medium. This year has been a challenge for all of us. For a while, I thought 2020 might be the first time in 25 years we didn't have a big, magic industry-wide moment. It really bummed me out to see everything fracture. More than ever, this is a year we need a positive, uplifting center of gravity to bring this global community together. So that's what we're going to build. Today, I'm proud to announce Summer Game Fest, a 4-month-long season of news events from all your favorite game platforms and publishers. It's all the news you've been waiting for, but also in-game events, playable content, and demos of select titles, and a bunch of fun surprises. Summer Game Fest isn't a singular show, but a whole season for events. The schedule hub at summergamefest.com will guide you through the next 4 months to make sure you don't miss a thing. And trust me, there are some amazing events coming, and I'm working on some plans for a developer showcase with my friends at I Am 8-Bit and of course Gamescom. One Night Live will return on August 24th as a big season finale. Thanks to all the game companies and developers who are working hard under challenging circumstances to keep us entertained. I hope SGF is a way to show these artists just how much their work helps us get through uncertain and scary times. Keep playing the future. Gaming is about to get really bright this summer. And then he released a graphic for the Phase 1 lineup, which includes 2K, Activision, which will probably be the new Call of Duty, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, which will probably be, well, I shouldn't say probably because I don't know for sure, but I heard some rumblings about a possible fall DLC for Destiny 2, so it could be that. It could also be the other game that Bungie's working on that everyone forgets about, so who knows, we'll see. CD Projekt Red, obviously Cyberpunk, Digital Extremes, EA, PlayStation, Private Division, Riot Games, Square Enix, Steam, Warner Brothers, which will be Batman, and Xbox. And that will run from May into August. So that's pretty cool. At least we'll get some exciting announcements this summer. At least something to look forward to. And now I will tell you everything you need to know about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The game casts players as Ivor? Ivor? I don't even know how to say the main character's name. That's a good start. Eivor. I could be Eivor. Well, you can play as a man or a woman, so I feel like Eivor can go both ways, rather than Eivor. or Ivor. I'm saying Eivor. That's my official pronunciation. The game casts players as Eivor, a fierce Viking raider raised on tales of battle and glory. Eivor, who can be customized as either a man or a woman, leads a group of Norse men that have been driven from Norway by endless wars and dwindling resources in the 9th century CE. Their journey sees them crossing the North Sea and traveling to England, where players must carve out a new future for their clan, reliving the ruthless fighting style of Viking warriors with a revamped combat system that includes the ability to dual-wield weapons against a greater variety of enemies than ever before. With little resources at their disposal, players can lead raids to any promising location they see from the waterfront using their longship to earn much-needed riches and resources. As the Vikings begin to settle in their new home, they encounter resistance from the Saxons, including King Alfred of Wessex, who denounces them as heathens and looks to be the sole ruler of a civilized England. Against all odds, Eivor must do what is necessary to keep Valhalla within reach. Creative director Ashraf Ismail added, "We can't wait for players to experience the incredible Viking journey ahead of them. Being in Eivor's boots, as both a Viking raider and a clan leader, players will face the conflicts of establishing a new home in the midst of a power struggle for control of England." This large-scale adventure is what Ismail has specialized in for years. He previously served as game director for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Origins. So the guy that directed Black Flag and Origins is directing Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is set to release in holiday 2020 for Xbox Series X, Xbox One, PS5, PS4, Stadia, and on PC exclusively through the Epic Games Store. It will also be available as part of the Uplay Plus subscription service. Multiple versions of the game will be available to purchase, yada yada yada. Gold Edition, Ultimate Edition, Collector's Edition, Regular Edition. You know how pre-orders work. Combat has been altered in some form with an emphasis on making every hit feel impactful. That includes giving players the ability to dismember and decapitate foes. While assassins have had two weapons at once before, Valhalla places a new emphasis on dual-wielding weaponry, with players allowed to mix and match the game's arsenal. Shields return as part of that arsenal after being absent from Odyssey. The Assassin's Blade returns as well. Throwing axes will be available in Valhalla as one of Eivor's many weapon options. Players will traverse by sea via their Viking longship. Players can spot fortresses from the water to attack with their raiding party in massive raids. Large-scale land battles will also be part of the story, though it's unclear if they'll function like Odyssey's army battles. RPG trappings introduced in Origins will return with new skills as well as new gear to collect. Open-world activities include hunting, fishing, dice, and drinking games. Additionally, Valhalla will introduce the competitive sport of flighting, aka Viking rap battles. Okay. Eivor will have a bird companion in the form of a raven. Valhalla is set in 9th century England during the Dark Ages. King Alfred of Wessex will be an opponent Eivor in the Vikings face. Alfred will be an antagonist, but narrative director Darby McDevitt said it could be wrong to call him the central antagonist of the game. Eivor will eventually run across a group of assassins in England, though at this time the Assassins and Templars are still being referred to as they were in Origins and Odyssey, the Hidden Ones, and the Order of the Ancients. Valhalla's map will include Norway, which players can return to after the Vikings leave, and the Four Kingdoms of England. Major English cities will include London, Winchester, and Jorvik? I don't know. While Valhalla is not meant to be the end of the series, McDevitt called it a good capper to the franchise so far, and should include a lot of nods to the franchise's history. Ubisoft Montreal is the lead development studio on the game. It is set for a holiday 2020 release and is confirmed it will be a day one launch title for the Xbox Series X and PS5, whenever those two come out. Gear will also be much more customizable in Valhalla. Each piece of gear in the game will be unique. New customization options include hair, tattoos, clothing, and war paint. Players will be able to make custom Viking raiders for their raiding parties and even share them with friends. Players will also get to forge a home for themselves. The settlement will include buildings to upgrade like a blacksmith, barracks, tattoo parlor, and more. Players will have to make choices throughout the campaign, including political and personal alliances, dialogue choices, and more. Alliance examples include conducting a marriage to unite clans, while romance options will be available to the player as well. So that's it. That is everything you need to know about the brand new Assassin's Creed game coming out later this year. We have not seen gameplay yet, but Microsoft said that they will be showing some next-gen games on May 7th, so maybe we'll see some gameplay there, because they said it would be third-party games, not first-party. So I'm thinking maybe we'll be seeing some Assassin's Creed over there on Thursday. So tune into that, and maybe we'll get some new game announcements as well. Alright, let's move on to music. I did not forget about this last week. I purposely saved it for this week because I knew there was nothing happening music-wise this week, so I had to save something. And that something is the return of The Ghost Inside. They released their first brand new song since their accident. The Ghost Inside is an American metalcore band from Los Angeles, California, formed in 2004. The band consists of vocalist Jonathan Vigil, guitarist Zach Johnson and Chris Davis, bassist Jim Riley, and drummer Andrew Kazik. Hope I said that correctly. On the morning of November 19th, 2015, the band's tour bus collided head-on with a tractor-trailer while headed west to Mesa, Arizona on U.S. Highway 180, 8 miles east of the Border Patrol checkpoint outside of El Paso, Texas. So the accident took place in Texas. They were on their way here, but it happened in Texas because there's a state in between Arizona and Texas called New Mexico, which was not mentioned. The drivers of both vehicles died, while the remaining 10 people on the bus survived. Jonathan Vigil, Zach Johnson, Andrew Kazik, and 2 others were hospitalized in critical condition. On January 13th, 2016, vocalist Jonathan Vigil posted his first update since the accident on Instagram. He stated his injuries and his gratefulness to be alive. The next day, drummer Andrew Kazik confirmed via his Instagram account that the accident had resulted in him losing one of his legs, following an initial 10-day coma. On January 21st, 2019, the band shared a photo of them in a studio on Twitter after a fan asked if they were working on new music. On July 13th, 2019, they played a return show at the Shrine in Los Angeles, and tickets sold out 4 minutes after they went on sale. And on April 22nd, 2020, the band released their brand new single, Aftermath, and announced their self-titled album set for release on June 5th, 2020. First song back in 6 years. I think their last album came out in 2014, so 6 years. Played their first show back last year, so that's good. It's good to see all the dudes are good. I know it took them a while to get back on track, especially the drummer. After he lost his leg, they had to figure out how to use the kick drum for him. It looks like they modified a kick pedal that he can use. They show it in the video. I will link the music video in the description, of course. And this album comes out on June 5th. Speaking of June 5th, though, there are sources that say that the Make Them Suffer album has been delayed to July 24th. Now, I don't know how true this is because the band has not confirmed that, and the record label has not confirmed that. And if you look at the band's website and their merch website, it still says June 5th is the release date. So, I don't know who's right and who's wrong. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know how much longer you can keep that a secret since we're about a month away from that. You should probably let people know, hey, if you've ordered something, it's gonna be delayed. Let's see which record label's the best. You have Sharp Tone releasing Current's album on June 5th. You have Epitaph releasing the Ghost Inside's album on June 5th, and Rise Records is supposed to release Make Them Suffers on June 5th. It looks like Sharp Tone and Epitaph are holding their ground. What's up, Rise Records? What's going on? What are you doing? Why can't you hang with the other ones? What's the dealio? That's it for music. I said there was nothing going on this week. and I meant that. So, moving on to the weekly pick of the week, I am recommending a full album playthrough of Trivium's What the Dead Men Say by vocalist and rhythm guitarist Matt Heafy. He played the entire album himself on his live stream and then uploaded it to YouTube, so I'll put a link to that video in the description. And you can see just how godlike Matt is and how friendly he is and down to earth he is, just good person he is, talented he is. Like, playing guitar and singing at the same time is not easy. You gotta remember your guitar parts, you gotta make sure your voice sounds good, you have to remember the lyrics, which I would struggle with. There are songs I've heard a bajillion times and I still forget the lyrics. But it's not an issue for him. I mean, he's been doing it since he was, I don't even remember how old. Since he was a youngin'. Second nature to him. Also with his screams, when he streams and screams, he kind of holds back on his screaming. He doesn't fully let it out. So if they sound a little weird, that's why. Okay, and now for the weird story of the week. A Barbie doll wannabe who believes she has the biggest lips in the world has undergone her 20th lip injection. Andrea Ivanova from Bulgaria has undergone more than 20 hyaluronic acid lip injections with plans to get her lips even bigger. The 22-year-old has been dubbed a real-life Barbie, and she had her latest injection on Tuesday and posted a photo of herself on her Instagram. She captioned her photo with the hashtags #love, #bigger, #lips, as fans praised her for her appearance, with one saying, "Bigger is better." I love Andrea's perfect big lips. She has spent thousands of pounds to achieve her look, forking out an average of 134 pounds per treatment, but has lost count of how much she has spent over the years. Andrea said, "I had my latest injection 2 days ago. I feel great to have even more, but some doctors think it's enough, though I still want them bigger. My doctor said he will do more injections for me, but said I have to wait for at least 2 months. I like my new lips a lot. It was hard to eat after the injection, and 2 to 3 days after the procedure gets more difficult. There are no restrictions to what I can eat. I think my lips are lovely. I love them. I'm not sure if they are the biggest lips in the world, but they are one of the biggest, I think. I feel very good and very happy with my new lips, because according to me, with bigger lips, I look prettier." Yeah, about that. She looks ridiculous. There's a before and after picture, and the before picture, she looks completely normal. Nothing wrong with her. And then the after picture, holy moly. I'll put them on the screen of the YouTube video. You ain't gonna miss it. I don't know. I mean, it's her body. She can do whatever she wants. But at some point, you just gotta stop. I mean, they look like they're gonna explode. You might actually be able to float on water with those. Who needs a life vest when you can just have lips that big? Anyway, that's gonna be it for me this week. So thank you for listening and hanging out. Links in the description for all the services that this podcast is on. Twitter, Twitch, and Discord as well. Links to the music I talked about. And with that said, stay safe, and I will talk to you next week. Later.